It's a rare condition this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper page. And love and tradition of the grand design, some people say, is even harder to find. Well, then there must be some magic clue inside these gentle walls. 'Cause all I see is a tower of dreams, real love bursting out of every scene.
Family Matters was really such a classic show.
I love the 90s, 80s, 90s shows. We don't have that anymore, and it definitely is a huge impact on our
upbringing,
day-to-day life. Like, yeah. The show A Different World definitely made me want to go to college.
Yep.
Cosby.
Fresh Prince made me want to have a mansion.
You right. You right. And I wanted a pool house out
and
there.
a butler that was British.
Who cursed everybody out.
Okay.
What's up, y'all? I'm Mocha 3 Bad, and
this is Victoria Balenciaga.
And we're the Hair Gawds. Of course, we are here today to dig deep and talk about families. Grab your wigs, sis.
Okay.
Pin it down.
This should be a good one.
This is gonna be a good one. Yeah, those shows though back in the day definitely painted a picture of perfect families, Black families, the Cosbys, you know, all Bill Cosby shit aside, is a classic. Like, I want it to be Claire Huxtable. To this day, she is still mom, wife, sis goals. Like,
yeah, for sure. You
can't say a thing about Claire Huxtable in any content. Like, in context, the video, like the Fall from Grace, when she actually played a villain.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, somebody must have drugged her.
Why she acting like that?
We could not believe that sis did that to us. Like, she has such a pristine character. Like, her vibe is like, you can't do that to Claire. And the lady's name is fucking Felicia Rashad, but she's definitely forever Claire Huxtable. So shout out to Felicia for that, because she definitely is everybody's mom. What
I really liked about those shows back in the day, like the Fresh Princes and the Cosby shows, was that although they were like such great TV families, they still had they dealt with issues that we really deal with as the Black community. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yes. Like, remember when they called, was it Eddie? No, remember when Laura was running for school president and they called her the N-word? You remember that?
Oh, yeah. I didn't remember it. You just made me remember it. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
My favorite TV moment of all time is Will Smith crying about his dad not wanting him.
Yeah, that was
if you
intense.
Can make it through that scene without a tear rolling down your eye, you are a pathetic individual. You really are.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry. You have no heart. No, but those are the good old days. I can't really think of many shows these days aside from like Blackish. And that's it. What other show like
I'm trying to think like that's like relatable on that level.
The whole Blackish spinoff, the Blackish Grownish. That's it. you know what was a really good show, and it was a comedy, and it was so slept on, but it was so funny. Marlon, he has a show on Netflix. Well, it's on Netflix now. I believe it was on like ABC when it was airing, and it was hilarious. And I'm just so mad it canceled after 2 seasons, but it was really good. You know, Marlon Wayans is a damn fool, so it has its super extra. Like, you know how extra he is, so expect that. But you know, it was good, and it was a nice Black family. Although they were divorced, they were still like better than ever. I'm
trying to think. Like, I can't think of one.
We don't have it.
We
don't. Like, the reality TV is trash. Like, there's no shows really uplifting Black families like that. I mean, there's Modern Family, but where the Black people at? I am really sad that I'm sitting here beating my brain and I can't think of one.
Yeah, it's actually very fucked up. Like I'm literally like staring up into the sky trying to figure out what show. I can't think of one. I really can't think of one.
That's sad. Well, I guess it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
No, it isn't what it is. What we should do is make sure we support all of our Black shows when they do come. And I don't know, Tyler Perry, strong Black woman, don't need a man for nothing. Sis got to suffer all through her life type shit. Just like regular old dry comedy with love and stuff.
Yeah, there's a huge opening for that. If anybody, yeah.
I think today people are just more into drama, that these shows aren't even getting the viewmanship. And I might have made that up. I don't know, that they deserve, because people aren't trying to see that shit. People really are okay with the negatives of life. I don't know.
Yeah, this is a damn shame.
You know who was like, I didn't grow up with a grandfather.
Okay.
I don't have a grandfather at all. I of course I had one at one point or another, but I didn't grow up knowing a grandfather.
Okay.
And it really, like, TV shows really helped me have a grandfather, or like all those Black shows, grandmas, like the family, what was grandma's name on Family Matters?
Loretta Devine. No, no, it was Loretta something. I can't remember what her name was though.
But yeah, she's the definition of every Black grandma. Like,
oh yes,
definitely
that shady queen. Yes, she was
always shady, sassy, shady.
Yeah, and dressed to the nines.
Yes, and then when Fresh Prince, when Grandma used to come in and bake pies, and
those sweet potato pies.
Oh, I almost forgot about that. Her and Will snuck out for the concert. Like, those are the good old days. Like, we don't have that type of shit. And like I said, for someone like me, I didn't grow up with strong grandfather in my life. So a lot of shows, like, I always wondered, like, do you have a grandfather?
No, I no longer have any. No.
But did you grow up with one though?
I did, yeah.
That's crazy. Like, and I'm gonna say this: my grandfathers all passed away. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna say I just didn't have one, because obviously I did. It's just by the time I was born, they were already dead or died when I was like very young. So I feel cheated out of that.
Really?
And I do. Mm-hmm. I don't know how important grandparents are in the aspect, but I had 3 grandmothers.
Okay.
And I have 1 remaining grandmother, and grandma. Mm. That's my baby. For that reason, is because I don't have a lot of grandfather. Like, I don't have that. Yeah, so I don't know. But back to families.
I just have to say something. When you took that little pause after you made your statement, it hit me that we finna get real deep.
Okay. Yeah, so families. It's like, it's really hard to really just dive into this, because when we talk about family, we could talk about everything. Everybody got a crackhead uncle, crackhead auntie, slut ass cousin Nikki. Oh, I hope I don't got no cousin Nikki who is a slut. Oh, I'm so sorry if you're listening. Yeah, like, it's always something like, I don't know, what type of family did you grow up in? Like, describe your growing up, like your home.
So my immediate, like, in my household?
Yeah, like, whatever you would say is what you grew up with.
So I grew up in a household with, I started off my life in a household with both of my parents, and my older sister and my older brother. So my parents are from Haiti, so I'm Haitian. In my household, they would say, in the house is Haiti, and when you go outside of the house, you're in Canada. So that was basically their way of, and I mean no disrespect to anyone when I say this, this was their way of saying, don't go to school and come back thinking that you're Caucasian. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like, you're at school all day, don't think that you can throw whatever fits they're throwing and whatever, and you won't get your ass beat. So the dynamic in the house was very, my father went to work. My mother also worked as well. However, my mom ran the household regardless. of whatever was going on. She made the decisions on everything, and it was hell on earth. That's the best way for me to explain it. How was your family dynamic growing up?
I had my mom is one of two children. My grandma had two daughters, so I don't have any immediate uncles on my mom's side. And on my dad's side, I have a lot of uncles, but they were all like, my family's like separated in Florida, so I saw them and I know them, but it was kind of like we had to travel to see them. Yeah. But as far as like the immediate family dynamic, I had my mom, my dad, who did not live in the home after I was like 7-ish. But I do know on my 10th birthday, he was in the home for something. Anyways, I know that was like literally the last memory I have of my parents being together in that way.
Okay.
My father was always there. He's more so the supportive father. Like, I cheered in high school. He was there. He was the only dad on the dance floor doing the dances, the cheers. My mom was always working. She had a strong 9-to-5 game. I had two brothers, and it was myself. I was the youngest. We had very close-knit family because, like I said, my mom only had one sister, and like my auntie was like my other mama. Yeah. Like my mom, like, because my mom was always like working, so we spent a lot of time with my aunt, who was also always working, but my grandma and my aunt lived together. So it was like we all were together, but we just lived in separate houses. And I was my brother's mama for, I want to say, although my brothers were older than me, I did most of the cooking. We all cleaned because we had chores, but we used to trade off our chores. Like, okay, you clean the bathroom, I'll cook dinner. Yeah. You do the kitchen. That's how it was. And I always pretty much cooked and cleaned up after grown-ass men. And I feel like I'm scorned behind it.
I'm telling you, I said it was hell on earth, and I mean it.
And what was hell about it?
It's I don't know. It's just so different. Like, when I look back on my childhood, I love it. And I love the person who I became based off of my childhood, but it was very like strict. So not only do I have a Haitian background, but my parents are, I'm not going to call them super Christians, but they're like Christian. And I'm talking about Christian, the type that goes to prayer service on Tuesday, Bible study on Wednesday, fasting service on Saturday, watch night service on Friday night.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And the whole family had to go?
Everybody had to go until I was like 16. But the whole entire time, I went to every single, it didn't matter if I had homework. It didn't matter if I had a project I had to work on with somebody else. I had to figure out a way to get it done. And I still had to go to every single thing. Oh, God.
Yeah. So do you feel like, I know that you stand firm on your Christianity.
Yeah.
Do you feel like these practices molded you in that way, or did you find God on your own? It's like, as far as like, I'm sorry, am I switching the subject, or is it still?
No, I mean, I think it's a good question, just because based off what I just said. I do think that, I don't think that it growing up that way made me firm in my beliefs. I found God on my own, which I think everybody does, because you have to experience it for yourself. But it if anything, when I was 16, I, like, not to say I stopped going to church, but church service is like 4 hours long in a Haitian church. I started going to like a different church where church service was like an hour long.
I actually was, only time I had to go to church, like my aunt started going to church heavily. I want to say from like 10 to like 15, like if we were going to auntie's house, bring your church clothes. Like, you already knew. And it was like fun at first, but her church was one of those churches where you go at 10 and you get home at like 4 and you be hungry.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Hungry as hell, sleepy as hell. Oh, I don't know if I should be saying as hell about church. Oh, well. But I think that I personally grew to hate church because of that.
Because of the 6-hour services?
Yeah, like I was forced to go, and then it was not and entertaining. Like, every church is not going to suit your personality type, and it just didn't. I believe that from about 14 is the last time I really, really went to church. And then I went to college, and I want to say that I found myself in God. And when I was like 19 or 20, I remember getting baptized in college, and it was nobody else's decision. It was mine. But again, they say, you show the children the way, and
exactly,
and that's where they'll go. So I guess our roots in the church always bring us back. And I personally believe that Christianity or some type of religious belief is necessary because it molds us and it gives us something to believe in and something to fear.
Okay.
Those are my reasons for strongly believing that everyone should go to church, whether they believe in God or a goat, whatever it is that you think of. But I think that strong foundation of rules and commandments and thou shall nots and, those kind of things, I think is necessary for everybody at some point, and however you do it, it needs to be done. Gotcha. Basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, you said that your home was hell on earth. One thing that I can say that I did not realize about my family while I was growing up until I was an adult is the word I love you. The words I love you. Okay. We didn't openly express our love for each other as children, as mom to daughter. My brothers feel the same way. Up until maybe I was like 25, I don't remember ever having my brothers tell me they love me for like no reason. Like when my brother went to the Marines, of course, I love you, talk to you another time,
Yeah.
Because he was leaving. And when my brother went away to school, I love you. And that was that. But we never just casually said, I love you. And I think that really, really is fucked up.
Really?
Yes. Is just not common. Like,
no, see, we're probably going to relate here. I got the I love you from the parents. Like siblings wise, we still don't say I love you. And if we do, it's one person says it and it gets really awkward. Like the other person doesn't respond, but it's like, yeah, okay. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It's I don't know. I can't, unless someone has passed away or something like that. But other than that, like I could call someone right now and say, okay, I love you.
And well, why do you think that is though? Like why do we have such a hard time expressing that? Because we love our siblings, I'm certain.
Of course.
But why? What?
I don't think that we. So I don't know. I'm like the wrong person to ask this. I have issues even expressing my feelings. So
is it because of this though? That's probably exactly why I feel like it's a problem, because
probably
we can't even openly express ourselves, and then they say women are so tough and we're so mean, but if you think about how you're raised, it has a lot to do with, who you are now.
100%.
I was raised with a hardworking mom who she loved us. Her love is evident in her actions, but she wasn't telling us she loved us like on nothing that I could remember. And of course, we always don't remember the smallest things. And of course, our parents could probably, oh my God, I told you I love you every day 1,000 times. And,
because, they have amnesia. When it comes to how,
and then we have amnesia too, or short-term memory or selective memory, but I just don't remember it, and my brothers don't either. So I'm going to have to agree with my brothers on this one because I just don't remember. And not penalizing my mom, because like I said, she is a wonderful parent. She's a wonderful mom, but we definitely grew up very tough love.
I agree with that. Like for myself personally, one thing that I did struggle with growing up is, you love me, right? As a parent. Why am I getting my ass beat every day?
Oh, I definitely got my ass beat every day. You've been open up a whole.
Of getting ass whooped. Yeah. Come on.
Oh my God.
Every effing day and I'm not saying like a beating, like, oh my God, call the police, but like I could be just sitting there watching TV and she'll be like, put the volume down, and I'll be like dancing to something, put the volume down, and I'm like, 1 second, and then next thing you know, something got thrown at my head. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what the hell?
Definitely Haitian as hell to get a shoe thrown at you. I was actually, this has always been my thing. I'm a Scorpio, And like I said in one of those episodes long ago, I'm everything a Scorpio is. I naturally rebel to authority. So me and my mom always butt heads because I was not a bad child. I wasn't having sex. I wasn't worried about boys. Like that was never my mom's problem with me. And I just always felt like I'm not even a bad kid and you be tripping. Like I got my ass beat for everything. I was on punishment for everything.
Me too.
And I want to say that looking back at it, it did make me a better person, but a lot of it was unnecessary. I just feel like, especially now that I'm a parent, if you learn your child's personality type, like love languages and all that shit, we weren't taught that. And if you know that now, if like there was just so many other ways to deal with me and me being rebellious as a child than getting your ass beat and then on punishment. Because I used to get my ass beat and then get on punishment and be like, okay. And then it got to a point where it was like, I'm going to get my ass beat regardless. So I might as well not go home today. I might as well enjoy the concert. I might as well skip school because I'm going to get my ass beat anyway. And it got to a point where it was like, what's the worst that can happen? Are you going to get your ass beat? Okay, I'm used to it by now. And that's just not a place where a child should be because especially a child like me, I was willing to take the ass whooping because I was going to do what I wanted to do anyway. And
so what would have been a better way for her to have dealt with you during those times?
I think that my mom had a very mature child. I was an adult, not an adult because I was still a child. I was more mature than she gave me credit for. And she tried to protect me so much so that she made me resent her.
Okay.
So resentment and rebellion, like I just, you're not going to tell me what to do. I'm going to do what I want to do because at this point it's like, listen, lady, I'm 15 years old. You won't even let me go outside past like 7:00.
When was it that you got the balls? Like when was it that you realized, oh, she's really not going to actually kill me or end my life. All I'm going to get is an ass whooping.
I was probably like 33, 34. No, to this day, I still think my mom would kick my ass. And I ain't gonna lie. I think that I probably, I appreciated every ass whooping when I was 19. I called my mom when I was 19, boohoo crying. I was in college at FAMU. And again, like I always mention, we had this off-campus apartment where it was 6 of us in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. So we had to share a roommate and 3 people to a bathroom. When I say, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm the only sane person in the house, but I felt like I was the only sane person in the house. And it was because I got my ass beat. Like everyone else had this extreme freedom from their parents and they were just so cool with it. Mom, you're on my fucking nerve. And then hang up. Like now I went to FAMU, which is a historically Black college and university. So I can't say this was on some like shit that wasn't true to our culture because these were Black kids too. And they were just talking to their parents crazy. And I was like, no wonder, you're a lesbian. No wonder you're sleeping around. No wonder you're like, because they had no discipline. They had nothing, no type of self-control. And I do feel like all children require a strict discipline. But like I said, to me, I didn't need my ass beat. I just needed to be talked to firmly and given a little bit more so I won't do the most. Okay. That was what was different for me. Now, when you were getting your ass beat, what do you feel like your mom could have done differently?
She could have just not touched me, sis. Because listen, I have probably had like mental visions of whooping my mother's ass like probably 3.5 million times. I'm not joking. Like, and the problem was as a child, and I'm still like that till this day with my mother. Or no, basically with anybody. If you're not making sense to me or if I don't understand, I need to understand what it is that you're saying. You're yelling at me because I did this, but my brother did the same thing and it's okay. We'll get to that. Okay? Right. He did the same thing and it's okay. But then when I'm asking you, why can he do it and I can't? And she's like, because I told you can't do it.
I definitely had the issue too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I told you can't do it. Okay, but why is it that I can't do it? Shut up. Okay, so I stopped talking. Open your mouth. Okay, I start talking. Shut up. Look at me. Don't look at me. Look at me. Don't. Sis, what do you want me to do? If you're going to beat me, just beat me now. Like, just do it.
I definitely had a similar problem growing up. Like, I did not like that my mom would tell me I couldn't do something, but then let my brothers do it. Even though they were a little bit older, they were doing it like for the longest time. Like when I was 16, I couldn't go out past 9 o'clock, but when they were 16, they were coming home at 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
And I do understand that there's a different way that parents have to protect their daughters than they do their sons, but I'm still all about equality, or fairness. Like, it just wasn't fair. If you're going to treat me like that, and I'm the one bringing home straight A's, I'm not the one having sex in your house, I'm not the one experimenting with drugs, which I gotta say, one thing I can say, my mom didn't have problems with her children, like, experimenting drugs. Like, none of us smoke. None of us smoke. None of us are, like, alcoholics. Of course, we drink, but, I want to say that that's one thing that our family just does not have a history of in our home. And I don't know what causes those things. I guess because my mom wasn't an alcoholic either. But yeah, but nonetheless, like, we weren't treated fairly, and I again rebelled because of it.
See, this is the thing. I love your example because this is exactly what I'm talking about. You coming home at 10 and them coming out at 1 or 2 or 3, I completely understand. Because I get it. You protect your daughters, all that good stuff. However, I'm an honor roll student. He's an idiot. Okay? Like, I'm not saying he's an idiot. No shade. I'm not saying he's an idiot for real because he's not an idiot. But I'm just saying he's like getting regular grades or above average grades. I'm an honor roll student. You're mad at me because I got a 90 this time instead of a 94, but he's not getting in trouble for anything.
Yeah.
That shit still bothers me till this day.
I think that our parents know what we could do. They know our potential. That's the only excuse I got, but nonetheless, it fucked us up in some way.
Yep.
And do you think that stopped you from loving your brothers more, though? Because we have to figure out why we had a problem saying I love you to each other. If we loved each other, but our relationships were always strained because that's not fair. It was always some kind of hierarchy, like where, oh, her favorite son is doing this, and like I'm naturally gonna hate him. Not hate him because I love my brother, but I'm naturally hating on him because he's getting to do things that I'm getting my ass beat for.
Let me tell you why I don't feel that way. The good thing about, like, in my family, if she would say, let's say she said he can go to the movies, but you can't go to the movies, then he would take me to the movies, or he would lie for me, or he would. Do you know what I'm saying?
Not my trifling ass brothers.
Okay, see, then I completely understand.
Them trifling ass niggas, Mom. She trying to be out here with these boys. What?
Are you serious?
They were some fucking haters. And then because, once I hit puberty, my brother's friends start tooting their nose up at me, starting to, they like what they seeing, and my brothers wasn't having that shit. So, I don't know. Nonetheless, definitely treated very differently.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say that's the reason why I didn't like my brothers. My brothers just some whack ass niggas. So, I just didn't like them. But we definitely learned how to say I love you as we grew up.
Okay, do you remember the first time you guys said it to each other and were serious?
I want to say that we actually had just one of those days where my mom said something. You know how when you just know the shit finna get deep. And I want to say, like, this is the dynamic of our arguments in our family. What happens is I don't give up. You start like I don't start the problem, but the moment you light this ignition, oh Lord, it's just I don't stop.
Yeah.
And my brothers, they're not gonna stop either. We're not fire starters. We're the fire. And my mom said something, and we had it out where my mama thought she was the best mom in the world, and we agreed that you're a good mom, but sis, don't give yourself too much. And then like it went on to, oh, I do everything for y'all. Y'all so ungrateful, and yada yada. One of those regular mamas and they feelings thing. And then we are old enough now to where it was like, sis, you did a lot. We love you, but nah, you ain't do all that. You definitely ain't do this. And we expressed our not being able to say I love you, or not being able to hug, or Like, you know how people say you weren't hugged enough as a child? I would have to agree. We expressed it, and then once it, and this is why I believe that therapy is so important, because that ability to talk things out, and so that everyone is heard, because you can talk all day. If you're not heard, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
And I think that in those moments you're heard after the fact. So although we all, I'm going home and I'm going to the park and I'm going, I'm going to my room. It probably ended like that in that moment. But the next time we saw each other, it was like, all right, love you, ugly. Like it's still, it's
but
still not going to be no sweetness behind it. But it'll be
that's
like, all right.
That's the thing. Why do we do that? Why is it love you, ugly? Why can't you just be like, I love you?
I think that's just siblings, though.
Okay, maybe.
Because I have a stepsister and I call her ugly for everything. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just ruined. I don't know if other people feel that way about their
family. I feel like, because I like I said before, when we do it, it's very awkward, or it's like, man, I don't know, it has to be a joke behind it or something, and I think it's kind of weird.
Okay, so do you feel like daughters and moms have a strained relationship? Like there's like a versus thing, like daughters versus mom thing?
I can only say that I somewhat believe it, but only based on the fact that there was men in the house. Like, I don't know what the dynamic is, if it's just a house full of girls, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know if a house full of women, if the mommy-daughter dynamic is different than it is when there's a boy involved. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I do. I feel like because we had men in the house, my brothers were there, it became mom versus, like, I don't know if this saying is true, but like there says there's only can be one queen in the castle.
Yes.
There can be several princes and kings, but only one queen. That is true.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're like, unless you're rooming with someone and you don't really care about the house itself, but there's only one queen in the castle. Like, she wants it her way, her floor cleaned this way, her house cleaned this way, her chicken fried this way.
Yeah.
Her, clothes washed this way. And when you start growing up as a young lady, you want your stuff done a certain way too. I don't think me and my mom ever had, but because we had mommy and daughter issues, but I do feel like our issues were deeper. Then she, like, the way she loved on her sons was definitely different than ways that she loved on me. Like, even though we all can collectively say we weren't told I love you enough, and things were a little different between how our relationship was together, I definitely knew that my mom, to this day, I can still say that there's a huge difference in how my mom treats her sons.
Yeah, I think it will always be that way.
Oh, so you have that problem too?
Yeah, 100%.
I tell you what, this probably is a good time to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about these trifling ass mamas.
Okay.
And they trifling ass sons. When we decided to start our podcast, we really wanted something that was fun and easy and user-friendly for our listeners. So the Anchor app has been a blessing. We can do literally everything here. We record, we edit, we upload everything right here on the Anchor app. It's super, super easy to use and super user-friendly. I strongly recommend you guys download the Anchor app by going to your app store and typing in Anchor, and you'll see it pop right up. It's literally been a blessing to us. It's the best thing that we have for podcasting and sharing our podcast. So you guys be sure to do that. Anchor app.
Listen, when I tell you, these mothers treat their sons as if they're just like they're royalty. You cook for them, you clean for them, you do their laundry. They, like, even when they go to college and come back, you're still doing their laundry. If they come and visit from out of town, you're doing their laundry. You cook for them. You make their favorite meals whenever they're around. You make excuses for them all damn day. And we just, in my opinion, as daughters, get the shit end of the stick. Somebody has to marry this man.
Agree.
Somebody I definitely agree.
Go
like,
ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but somebody has to marry this man that you're grooming to be a child.
When I had a child myself, I definitely saw the difference in how my mom would treat we have how many nephews do I have or each? I have 8 nephews, and I'm the only daughter, and I had our first girl. My mom loves her granddaughter to death, but she will not watch her more than 30 minutes without complaining.
You petty.
My brothers come into town, dump all 8 of their kids on her ass, and don't come back for 2 days. And she doesn't say a word. So unfair. And I just feel like there's like 1,000 things that moms do to handicap, cripple, and make these niggas sorry because they are trying to keep them around. Like having a man in the home at any capacity. Even like I said, my father, he's very present in our lives, but he's not in our home. He hasn't been in our home for a while. I can't say that affected my mom any, but I want to say that I think that sons are held at a higher rank than daughters amongst moms, because it's like there needs to be a man in the house, whether it's for protection, whether he finna be an NBA player or a football star or, whatever. I just really feel like mothers treat their daughters like crap compared to their sons. And I don't care. You can call my mama and she can listen. I'm talking to you, lady.
Let me call her. Just give me 1 second. Let me
wait. No, I was just playing. Don't do that because we're finally in a good space and I need a babysitter.
For 30 minutes.
For 30 minutes while I go, run around the parking lot. No, but it's different. Like, I know that you want all of your kids in the home. Like, it makes you feel better. And I always thought that sometimes moms do a lot of coddling their sons because they're of their safety.
I was just about to say, okay.
You don't want your black sons running the street because you're scared. You want them to come home, but it's like, I don't know. I just feel like it's really fucked up. There's like a lot of reasons why moms, and this is what I was going to say, like moms versus daughter, but it's not really moms versus daughters. It's like moms and sons versus like, and then the other kids, like, and daughters.
It's really interesting. Like your perspective on them probably wanting a male figure in the household, because I've always thought of it as when they do this, it's to protect their son, with respect to, like, if I said to my mom, for example, can you please buy me a Lamborghini? She'll tell me to fuck off. Okay. If my brother was to say, oh, he's not even asking her for it, I need a Lamborghini, she would probably bend over backwards to get him a Lamborghini, because in her head, if she doesn't get him a Lamborghini, oh my God, what if he goes out there and tries to steal a Lamborghini? Or what if he goes out there and sells drugs? Or what if he goes out there?
Whose fault is that? It's the mom's fault.
But because 100%.
They didn't get their ass beat. Like, we were getting our ass beat to know better not to do that.
Okay.
And that's where it's unfair. And I just think that, I don't know. And again, these are our opinions. These are personal experiences. Yeah. I can't speak for every family. I only grew up in the one I'm in.
Exactly.
But I just feel like I do know there's a lot of men who have these really high expectation of women because their mom did the most just to keep them in the house, or just like, and didn't require much out of them. Like, you ever met a nigga who say, oh, you got to cook for me, you got to clean for me, I want this, and I want home cooked meals 7 days out of the week, and, wash my laundry, house should be clean, and all this. Like, nigga, do you want a woman, or you want a maid, or your mom? Like,
yeah.
Because niggas really go from their mama's couches to their girlfriend's beds. Like, yeah. They don't have, I'm not going to say they, because there's a lot of men who have their shit together. So please, no, don't inbox me. Don't be rolling your fucking eyes. I'm talking to a very select few people, and these men know exactly what the hell I'm talking about because they live in that life and they're in denial half the time. But y'all know which niggas I'm talking about when I'm talking about them. It's some men who refuse to live on their own.
I was just about to say, they rarely, like, women usually go off to school, come back, make some money, and get their own place. Men usually, do whatever, end up living with the girl who went to school and did all that stuff. And then when they're done with her, they go to the next girl or back to their mom or dad and just keep doing it until they land with that woman that they're going to build with. I'm not knocking their financial status or anything, but that's just what tends to happen.
Yeah, because it's not even usually about, oh, he broke, he ain't got nowhere, But I know some guys who say that they are miserable living alone.
Yeah, that's what I was just
absolutely, because they're so used to being catered to. The attention is always on them. But for women, we've always had some shit. So having our own space and being at peace for once, or we're not getting our ass beat, yelled at, made to cook, made to clean by somebody else, some type of authority over our head, whether it's our mom, dads, or both.
Yeah.
It's peaceful. We can't wait for those moments, but men don't have that same pressure, and they stay in the house forever. And I just, again, mamas wanna over coddle their sons, but then make their daughters these strong, independent women who, can survive on their own. But then here goes this man. He goes out, like you said, he has to be somebody's husband. He links up with the woman who cooks, cleans, and has her own place and all this stuff together. He comes in it, and of course he has a job or something, but then he gets off work and sits on the couch and just waits for a plate to be brought out to him, like this young lady didn't cook, clean, and work all day either.
And don't forget to drink, child.
God forbid they have kids. So I don't know. And this is that can't raise a man shit. Like, our parents, our mothers are forcing us to raise men.
Oh, child.
But then we can't all put all this shit on our mamas, because then absent fathers, again, fathers not being in the home. You can be a father, but if you're not in the home, you're still part of the blame too. Because when my mom yelling at my dad, stop pissing on my toilet, he is learning how to not piss on the toilet. He gonna tell his son, listen, I ain't getting no coochie for 2 weeks straight because you keep pissing on the toilet. Your mama don't like that. Don't do that, son.
I'm gonna beat your ass.
I'm gonna beat your ass because your mama ain't giving it up.
Yeah.
So it's like fathers being in the household mean a lot too, and I just feel like fathers get, even though of course men are on child support, they're you a deadbeat daddy, and they might get chewed out about it, but their absence isn't people are not making their absence seem as grand as it is.
You find?
I do. I mean, of course, not having a father in the home is grand, but people were like, oh, my daddy wasn't there, but it's cool. My mama was good to me. What? No, your dad wasn't there, and you missed out on a lot of opportunities to learn the value of a man going to work, coming home, and putting it into his household. And now you going to little Susie house, and Susie pulling all the weight, and you don't know what you're supposed to do as a man. What are your roles? And I love me some gender roles, and I feel like men miss out on learning gender roles in a home ran solely by a mother.
Well, and, I mean, I don't think a woman can be, yes, she can be mother and father, but she can't be mother and father. Did you get what I'm trying to say?
Right. She can't be mother and father. She can only be a great mother.
Yeah, it's not possible. It's just not possible. It's not.
And we can't raise a man. She can't raise a man. And again, we have all these men who, I grew up with a lot of women, so I understand women. You do. But do you understand men? Do you understand how to be a man? Do you understand what a man's role in this world is? Instead, oh no, I believe a woman supposed to cook, clean, and pay 50% of my bills. Why? Because that's what your mama was doing? Do you realize what your mama was doing was all fucked up?
Now you going in on people, mama.
No, it was my mama too. Nobody, and it's not her mama. It's her daddy. Because at the end of the day, women aren't supposed to do every fucking thing.
And that's the thing. And I'm glad you brought that up. I think that within the Black family dynamic, women in the like the young women are raised to do everything. And even if you're not doing everything, at least you know how to if you needed to. I don't think the boys are given the same skills.
I think boys know how to do the basics. Every time you ask a man, "Oh, I don't need no woman for nothing. I know how to cook and clean my own house." Okay, you know how to be a woman. Again, because gender roles are important to me. I'm not saying that everyone doesn't have to learn how to do these things, but if I always say what ruined the Black family is not the man being out of the home, but the woman being out of the home. If you can cook and you can clean, but that's not really a priority if your ass is at work, and then if your ass is tending properly, you're not learning how to do those things. Yes, you come here and you hug on your kids, and you might put them in the bed at the end of the day, but mama done woke them up, washed their asses, took the coal out of their eyes, make sure their teeth was brushed, ironed their clothes, make sure they got them on right, packed their lunches, make sure they all got to school on time. Well, make sure they all got their homework in their bags, make sure they got to school on time, talk to the teacher, all that by 9 o'clock while you was at work. And then when they come home, do all the same shit in reverse, and then wait for you to come from work. And then all you did, because she still cooked, she still cleaned and all that. You worked all day, yeah, but you didn't contribute to your household because you don't know how to. You think that you worked all day and that's all that matters. But she worked all day too, plus did a lot of other shit. And you come, play with the kids for a little bit, get them together. Everybody hates Chris, the mom,
that was a good show too. That was a really good show.
That was a good show too, and I'm glad I thought of it. But still, all his dad did was reinforce what mama said, but to me, it still showed the role of a man to reinforce, to protect her. It's just things that he still wasn't hands on with the children, though. I hate when I talk about kids, because then I go to thinking, man, I just want to be a daddy. I really want to be a daddy. And I'm not going, and it's not like the battle of the sexes or anything, but men don't understand how our family dynamics made it so much harder for the Black woman. And I don't know.
I feel like, personally, let me know if you can relate. I was raised to know how to survive without a man, and I don't think that's normal at all. I know how to survive with one, and I know how to survive without one. I don't think that's normal.
And then that's the thing too. You just made an interesting point. We learned how to survive without them. We never learned how to live with them.
No, I learned how to live with them and survive without them.
How? With your brothers?
No, what do you mean? Now you're confusing me.
You learned how to live with them, and you were taught to survive without them or with them.
Both.
Correct? But how did you learn to live with a man?
By living with a man.
What man?
My father.
For how long? When you were 10?
No, for a good while. Probably until my teenage years.
But you said in other episodes that your father was not necessarily living in the house. He just worked and left early and came home late enough where it didn't seem like it.
Exactly. So I was sleeping. So what does it matter what I was doing when I was sleeping?
No, but I'm saying he wasn't home all day. You just
he was home all day. My father used to work from, let's say, 3 a.m. to like 1 p.m. every day. So by the time I was off from school, like, he didn't get me ready for school or anything like that. But when I was home from school, up until when I went to sleep, he was around.
But he should have been sleeping. When does he sleep?
I don't remember, honestly. I don't know when he slept. I really don't.
I don't know. I'm not gonna give you that one, Rach.
You don't have to give it to me. Like, I'm telling you.
No, I'm just saying, like, if you can't say what did your father do in the home that, as far as contributing to the home, aside from pay bills, what did he do around the house?
My father was the one who cooked for us after school. He would get us ready for bed. He would, when I was young, he would bathe us, because my mom used to work nights. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I can't. I get what you're saying, because I've seen it so many times.
Well, I'm so glad you have that experience. I actually lived with my dad for a while too, without living with my mom.
How was that?
But living together.
How was that?
I raised myself. I was just out here. I was out here thugging. I cooked for my daddy when he came home, and he slept, and I was out here. No, I only lived with my dad for like 1 year. It's because my mom found out I had a tattoo, and Yeah.
I
and
actually like that she did that, by the way.
What? Made me live with my dad?
Yeah, my mother would never. So I think that's pretty cool.
I think I probably asked to live with my dad. I want to live with my daddy. And then I lived there and I'm like, oh shit, it's rough over here.
If your daughter asked you at like the age of 10 to go live with her dad, would you let her?
If that's what makes her happy. And if his situation was firm, solid, and he has, you know, a wife or, you know, someone where she's just not home by herself all day, no, that's not going to happen. But like if they have a family structure that makes sense and is, you know, positive and their relationship is strong and she's not going to go over there and see no toxic shit, sure, I'll see you every other weekend.
I think that's really cool. I really do.
Why wouldn't send your kids to their other parent?
Because I don't have any, I can only speak on what I think I would do. I don't think I would do it, no. Because it wasn't like once again, if we go back to childhood, right? There's no way in hell my mother would ever do that. She just would never do it.
Let you live with your dad?
Yeah, she would just never do it. She would rather.
Was she is she being overprotective or your dad just wasn't?
I think that
what
anything, like, especially if I asked, then she'd be like, no, something's up. It's not happening. Like, no, you can't. And she would probably be very insulted. So because she's insulted, she would have to go like pound for pound with me. Like now we're doing petty shit to each other all day because I just insulted her. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, we definitely grew up differently.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
My mom worked, and I'm not gonna say she wanted her freedom when she came home, because we definitely still had relationships when she came home. But if I was at my daddy's house, because that's where I need to be to learn a lesson. Oh well.
Yeah.
She was gonna lose sleep over it. I can't say she didn't lose sleep because obviously she's putting on a tough act to teach me a lesson. Yeah. But I just don't see why you would have kids with someone who you like. It's not a trust thing.
No, it's not a trust thing.
You're insulted.
Yeah, because I insulted you. It's like, oh, like I'm not doing a good enough job. Did you get what I'm trying to say? That's how she would feel, knowing my mother.
But see, then that's a problem, though.
That's what I'm saying. I agree.
It's like you just you're the only parent here. That's what I'm saying. Like, so although we might be talking different, like as far as were you raised to live with a man? You were absolutely not raised to live with a man because your mom wouldn't even allow you to live with a man if she was not involved. You get what I'm saying?
But I can't say that for sure. I'm just assuming how she would react to such a thing because I've never asked to do that. I never had.
I want you to ask your mama.
You want me to
text her?
I don't know if she's awake, but I would, honestly.
No, I'm just talking shit.
I'll try her.
Don't text your mom.
Yeah.
Don't text your mom.
She'd be so insulted. I didn't do a good enough job. Nope.
No. Nope. I'm just so sorry, Esther. Please don't ever listen to this.
Let me ask you something, because you know what? The fact that I really love that we're having this conversation. I have to say this, and I need to know if you can relate at all. Once again, did your family have any like family secrets? Like, are there certain things in your head that you're still wondering and you can't get the answer even if you paid for it?
I almost feel like by me exposing my family secrets, I'm like not being in the family anymore. You know how black people have that what happens in our house stays in our house? I've already said too much, honey. Like, I'm gonna get you. I pray my mom never figures out how to listen to this shit because that's how you feel. Well, go ask your friends, your listeners, your listeners. I don't have time for the drama. Like, but you
know what? It's like, what happens in our house stays in our house, but that's not a good thing.
It's not. Again, that's why I say we need therapy, we need counseling. There's so many people. Oh my God, we had a conversation, I want to say maybe about 4 months ago, and we in the group that we're in, we went live with men. Do you know that a lot of men, and this might go way left, but hey, shit, since we're talking about secrets, a lot of men were molested by older family members and women, and they don't feel like they were molested.
Oh yeah, very common.
A lot of boys feel like because it felt good,
and because it was a woman,
that they were not taken advantage of sexually by an adult. And that bothers me. And I'm just so glad. Like, I'm not going to say I'm so glad I don't have a son for that reason, but I just wish that we have more of an open conversation to our son
100%.
that nobody should be fucking touching you. No one should be asking to see your stuff or having you touch them anywhere inappropriately. But I want to say, like, I'm just making up an imaginary percentage in my head. So please don't, like I said, it's my fucking opinion. I want to say like 75% of the men I've ever talked to have told me like, oh, one of my mama friends took my virginity. What?
Or the maid in Haiti. The good old maid in Haiti is always fucking on the little boys. I'm trying to tell you.
The maid in Haiti. This is a thing? Or are you
no,
being
this is a thing.
Is it a real maid or is
no?
it
It's a real
like
maid. It's the maid of the house takes their.
Y'all had maids?
Yes, we have maids.
Y'all got money.
Yeah, right. No, but this is like, it's a thing and it's not even a big deal. It's like, yeah. Oh, the first time I had sex, it was with the maid. And everybody's like, oh, okay. Like, it's like nobody says a word about it. It's like normal.
That's weird to me. It's weird as fuck. And I promise you this, if I had a gun, that doesn't fly well with me. And I just think that a lot of times that like our boys get taken advantage of. Damn sure our daughters, our cousins, I mean, everybody has that uncle who is this, don't leave your kids around him. Those are the type of family secrets I feel like should not be secrets. Like, expose his ass. I had an uncle just recently pass away, and God bless the dead, but not his ass. I don't feel
sorry.
I don't feel no type of way about it. Like, because he was known for doing shit that he wasn't supposed to do within his own immediate family, and that makes it even like.
Ugh. And you know what the problem is? There's a lot of focus on the younger child. I mean, when the little girl is younger, it's like, okay, this is your vagina, or this is your this is your that, this is blah blah blah. You know, nobody touches you here, nobody touches you there, blah blah. Usually during bath time, you talk to your daughter or your whatever, your niece or whatever. You tell them all that stuff. I rarely see that happen with a little boy.
I definitely tell my nephew, my youngest nephew, don't let nobody touch your stuff. Don't you know?
Yeah.
And back to this uncle who, like I said, he had a funeral, and I want to say his death was very insignificant because of his life. Like that, whatever the hell happened, it happened literally maybe 50 years ago, and people don't let that shit down.
And they shouldn't.
They're not. You're gonna go, and your fucking funeral is gonna be, you're gonna get cremated, and your surviving sisters might come just to make sure, you know, the shit is done the right way, and we're gonna forget about you because you're a fucking creep. Those type of family secrets, I can't think what kind of family secrets can you think of that is not like child molestation? Like who? I can't say that wasn't prominent in our family. Like I can say, I can think of only one very distant scenario.
Molestation, I can't say was a thing that was dealt with in my family that I know of at all.
Abuse, maybe?
No, what I really want to know before I die is like certain family members. I want to know who their daddy is, and that's on everything I love. I want to know, even if I don't know the man.
You a shady bitch.
Know me, I love mess. I don't love to be in mess. So I just want to know who is this person's daddy? Like who? Because certain people, and there's always that one person in the family that knows everybody's business but doesn't say shit.
Oh my God. Oh wow. I can't really think of many secrets. I know one thing I'm fucking sick of, not to change the subject, but the pressure to when you getting married, when you getting married, when you having kids, God damn. Y'all, you only gonna watch her for 30 fucking minutes. Shit. Unless you finna split this thing down the middle. Did you have that pressure when you're getting married, when you're having kids thing?
So I have to take it back one more time because it's gonna be a very common, people are gonna be able to relate with this. The way Haitian parents are is after you're done school, the next thing is you have to go to school first, right? When you're done school, the next thing is when are you getting married? 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 Then you get married, and it's when are you having kids? When are you having kids? When are you having kids?
In that order.
Yeah. So I'm married now, and the pressure to have kids, I don't really get a lot of pressure for it, but I get a lot of like hints dropped at me. Like, oh, whenever you're ready, I'm just waiting on you so I can retire because I'm sick of working at this job. I'm just waiting for you to have a kid. And then it's like, okay, well, what if I don't want kids?
I feel like the pressure wasn't really there to have kids, but you made an interesting point about getting immediately after college. It's like, the books before boys because boys bring babies. Yes. I want to say that is such a fucked up way of thinking. No, I have a theory.
Okay.
All right. So, I hope I don't take all day explaining this because I can go for hours. All right. So if we're not dating the earlier we start dating, the better we fare in the dating game. You don't think so?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I agree.
We're told, you can't go outside past 9 because you're only 15. You can't date boys until you're a college graduate. Don't ever even mention that you have a man. Yep. And then now we're 23 years old. We've lost, I want to say, about 5 years of dating experience. Yeah. And then we're taught to immediately after college, where's your husband? Yeah. Where's your husband? Where's your husband? I just got a law degree and you're worried about a fucking husband. And it just shows like if I was dating seriously at 18, 19, 20, I could have been making all these fuck ups. But now I didn't fuck up and I'm 23 just learning the game and these niggas is skating on me and I'm naive and I don't understand what's going on in the dating world because I'm new at it. It's going to take me longer because I have to go through a few bad apples before I get to the good one. Yep. And I just think that it just makes me boil down because, I have a daughter and I don't want to think of her dating at 15, 16 years old, but realistically speaking, it would probably be better for her if she did. Get that, not saying dating should be a priority. Yeah. But to get your heart broken early.
Oh my God.
No, because I mean, it's 1 out of 10 couples, their first love is their forever love. That shit is not, and that's now. Imagine in 10 years, you know what I mean? So imagine, if you would have gotten your heart broken at 18, then at 23, you already know how to deal with that stuff. And you can start selecting better partners earlier.
But then there's always that chance of you start dating at 15 and, when high school's done, you're like, okay, Mom, I know I said I was going to go to school to become a doctor, but me and Tyrone are going to hit the streets with his mixtape for the next couple of years until he gets,
And when we say dating, I'm not talking about, bitch, you could go and date. Okay? I'm talking about just make it so it's like, comfortable. Like we had to hide who we were dating. Yes. We cannot come home talking about you got a boyfriend. And maybe not at 15 because that's still, you know what, the 15-year-olds now are much more mature than we were. I always say like we're growing up childish as hell must be because I don't know how we're the age that we are and certain things still entertain us, but I don't know.
You mean you think they're more mature? You think they're more like they're fast?
I think that they're smarter, not more mature.
Okay. we
were probably dumb and mature, but we weren't smart. Like these kids have a trick. Like not that they. It's like they can figure out everything we used to do. Like shit I used to do when I was like 17, they're doing now at like 14 because they have this technology.
Yeah.
That helps them see it being done everywhere. They're exposed so much earlier to it. So it's like, realistically speaking, they're being exposed to shit. A 5 and 6-year-old can tell you what sex is.
Oh God.
That's scary. Yeah. They might not know, what sex is, but when you say sex, it's mommy and daddy. They know to that extent. Like, we knew how to hunch, but that was it. Like, I don't know. That just stresses me out.
You took it to a place, like
it stresses me out. But we have to, as parents, we have to change with the times because like my child is the only child, and I don't know if there's a such thing as called. I didn't believe there was a such thing as only child syndrome, but now since she's the only child, you pay so much attention to this child that you can tell. Like I'm gonna have to beat her ass. I'm gonna have to choke her up. I am.
You think so?
I know so. When I say my baby give me a run for my money, she's 2. And it's like, you're 2, but again, because she's the only child, I feel like she's growing up to be a little bit more mature than other kids who grew up with other children. Because now when I'm talking to you, I don't talk to you like a child. I'm talking to you like an adult. And you're understanding from an adult's place because this is the only way you've learned, you know? But when there's, okay, so let's just say I had 3 children and a husband in the home.
Which you will.
Who want 3 kids?
Me? I want you to have 3 kids.
You better have 2 more of them then, because I'm done. But what I'm saying is that mom and dad have their conversations in private, and children go and have children conversations in private. They might can guess what we're talking about, but they don't know.
Yeah.
But when there's only one child and one parent, or one child and 2 parents, the child does not have anybody else to have another conversation with. All they know is this strong, real conversation amongst adults. So it is kind of making her more mature. Even if I'm talking on the phone all day just with you and she's listening, she's not able to go in the room with her friends and with her friends or a brother or sister and play on the phone and imagine what our conversation is like.
So how do you feel about that?
It makes me censor myself like around her, but what am I supposed to do aside from not, making her grow up too much?
Yeah.
Like it's one of those things where you can't really win. You can't lose because she's incredibly intelligent, but my child will be more mature at 14 than a child who probably grew up with a ton of brothers and sisters in the house too. She'll be more independent. And, so now it's like I'm faced with the decision, do I let my daughter date just because you're mature? And, I don't know.
Honestly, the solution to this problem is to have another baby, but that's a conversation for another episode.
All right. Well, when you have it,
no.
That'd be cool or whatever.
So let me ask you this. Do you think that the Black family, and I mean like just the average Black family, because there's a lot of stuff, we come from 2 different backgrounds and we can relate on a lot of stuff, right? Where do you think we go wrong in our relationships as a family?
I have a list. I'm not going to sit here and explain everything, but I have a list. We do not have therapy.
Yes.
Or counseling. We and then I'm not speaking on everybody because there was Black families,
of course,
but historically Black people don't go to counseling and stuff. They go to church and that's it. I believe religion is a pro and a con. You might not believe so, but I believe that it has its ups and its down. I believe we're not talking to our children like people. Apologizing to kids, that's something we probably should have talked about, but apologize to your fucking kids, man. Like, they're people. If I had to say one thing was going wrong, I would want to say, I can't say that because I have to give props now more than ever. More Black parents are, even in separated homes or single parent homes, both parents are learning how to deal with each other more. Statistically, men are more in their children's lives now than ever. So I want to just say learning how to have better relationships amongst each other.
Okay.
That would be, if I'm going to break it down to one thing, it's learning how to, like you said, you were taught to survive without a man and with the man. I feel like I was taught how to survive without a man, but never taught to live with a man. Okay. Even though I lived with men, but not on the what is a man supposed to do back? What is a woman supposed to do back kind of thing? Like, even though, I had a stepfather in my house when we were older, but by then I was on my way to college, so I still missed out on the experience. Yeah. But it always goes back down to those gender roles, like showing the way.
I think the number one thing that needs work in the Black family is communication. I think that for some reason, the Black parent always thinks somebody's trying them. and that's not what's going on. Like, why is it a problem that you can't say, like, I want this chocolate bar? You can't tell me why I can't have it. You're just gonna say no because I said so, because I run this house, because this, because that. But why are you not explaining to your child why it is that they can't do certain things?
I mean, because I do run this house.
No, that's fine. But like, why are we not explaining stuff? Why are you not explaining to me why Timmy can fuck all these bitches and get money, but I can't fuck all these niggas and get money? You know what I mean? Like, why are you not explaining it to me? That's my problem. That's what I don't like about it. And I still see it happening. And for the life of me, I don't get it, because, you know, I grew up in very like multicultural backgrounds. And when I was over at my Caucasian friend's house, that's not how the house was. When I was at my Asian friend's house, that's not how the house was working. The Mexican, it wasn't like that. It's like only in our households are they so like, I'm not trying you.
Yeah.
Mom.
I think I was gonna say, I think that that Haitian family structure, the offense is real.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you can't, they're easily offended.
Yes.
I get it. I can't say my mom is easily offended now, because we can definitely have it out now. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's just some new shit that we just, learned how to do now, but because I didn't feel that way and I see that we can talk it out now and I hear what you're saying, mm-hmm. I understand. Like, yeah, that definitely probably would help. Some good, strong communication without being penalized behind it. That would probably be great. I don't know. There's just so much we could talk about when it comes to families. Nonetheless, love yours.
Yes, absolutely. I love mine to death. I do.
Even though I was getting my ass beat.
They all know it.
No, I agree. We just have so much to work on. Family means everything to me, though. Me and my daughter's dad, I remind him often that we're family. So we're not going to argue and fuss and fight about whether we're going to buy each other Father's Day and Mother's Day gifts, and we're not going to be vindictive longer than we have to be. And then if we argue, fuss, and fight amongst each other, we're going to still make up not to miss family time with our daughter, because that's important to me. I don't ever want him to miss a moment in her life because we can't get together romantically, or we can't be together like forever. Mm-hmm. I think we just have to make it put the value into it.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you.
If you, because easily I could say, oh, well, Easter is coming or Thanksgiving is coming, and I'm just going to take my daughter and we're going to do what we do. No. That's not fair.
It's not.
And there's a lot of women who do that. They treat their child like it's the only child, like it's only their child. And fathers are being forced out of the equation by that. And I just don't think it's fair. So let's just make it
love each other. And there's nothing wrong with saying I love you, damn it. My God.
You okay, sis?
I'm going through it. But real quick before we wrap up, just for the culture, you said you were getting your ass whooped a lot too, right?
I can hear what you said.
I said for the culture before we wrap up, you said you were getting your ass whooped a lot too, right? What was your mother's weapon of choice?
Oh, I got my ass beat with everything, but specifically a stitching cord. It's not an extension cord. It's stitching cord. That was pretty much it. Okay. I got punched in my shit, and I'm lying. My mom never ever that. I can say, I do remember getting slapped when I told her I lost my virginity. That was like its most like abuse. Like, oh, bitch, you put your hands on me. I'm so sorry. I just be calling my mama all type of B words. If she ever hear this, Lord, I'm so sorry. Forgive me now. Mama, I don't mean like that. I'm just talking like, I said what I said. But yeah. What was your family's weapon of choice when you were getting your butt beat?
My mother would throw some rice on the ground, have me get on my knees.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah.
Is it too late to
people are gonna think I was really getting beat, but this is like the norm. Rice on the ground, and I would just have to let's say be on my knees for a while, and then maybe lashes to the hands, or
My God, the fact that you said lashes just sounds slavery.
Yeah, no, for real. But it would be like something.
We can't end. I have another question.
Okay,
I have another.
So it would be like maybe like she would say, "Give me your hands. I'm going to give you 10 of these, and if I move my hand, I would still get." You know what I mean? The other one, and I'm telling you, I never did shit to this lady. Okay, I never did that. I don't know.
One of y'all lying.
No.
Okay.
And the thing is, you know my mom. You're not gonna believe she ever hit me because she's so sweet. Yeah, right.
She's the sweetest woman ever. I'm starting to feel
like
you're trying to make me feel a type of way about this.
No, ma'am.
And I'm gonna call her. I'm gonna call her. And but I have one more question. Yeah. I guess we can end it for here. Discipline. Mm-hmm. Disciplining your children. Now that you're an adult and you got your ass beat and you put your knees on the rice. And I got beaten with an extension cord. I got punishments where I can come out of the house for days at a time, months at a time. How do we discipline our children? Do you feel like physical discipline is necessary or is acceptable?
Yes, I do.
So you believe kids need their ass beat?
I do. I actually think sometimes they desire to get their ass beat. Like they do shit because they want it. They miss the feeling of getting their ass beat. I'm not saying they want it all day, but I do believe in like, a pop here after several, warnings. And I'm telling you, stop touching the stove. If you touch the stove again, this is what's going to happen. If there's a fair warning, yeah, go ahead. Do what you got to do.
I believe that I don't want to quote unquote beat my child, but I do believe in spankings. Yeah. I do believe like in popping, like pops, because a pop is just a physical reminder as to why you need not to fucking play with me. And but I don't think that I would go the same route that my mom went.
Oh, me neither. No.
I do believe there should be some strict discipline. I believe that your children should fear you as if you were God. Because if they don't fear you, they're not going to fear nobody in the streets. Your children have to be able to leave out and then be like, oh, I can't steal this from Walmart because if I get caught, my mom will kill me. Even though we all know your mom ain't going to kill you, but they should have that fear though. Definitely believe that.
And I love that you said they should have fear in you like they fear God, because not that they should have fear. Tom, correct me if I'm wrong. Not that they should have fear, but that they should fear you. And there's a healthy balance that they still know they can come to you with anything.
Right. Yeah. Of course. Like, that's why I said I don't believe in like, and it goes back to communication. Yep. Our children should be able to express themselves without getting knocked in.
Okay. Shit. Like, why did you hit me?
You were really hurt behind this, man. I'm going to really hug you tight next time I see you.
Yay.
Calm down. But no, like seriously, our kids should be able to express themselves. They should be able to be themselves. Whether you raising a transgender, straight, gay, purple, yellow hair, whatever, your kids, give them their freedom. They'll come back around when they get it out of their system. But you can't beat them out of being themselves, and you can't silence them out of being themselves. You can only build resentment in your relationship with your children. And that's toxic as fuck. That's going back to episode 1. But yeah, just that's really it for me. Like, don't treat these kids like they're not people.
Because they're very much so people. And they're your people. Love them.
All right, guys. Well, this was fun. I'm glad we got to, although we took a light approach on it, I'm glad we got to talk about some deep shit. Until next time.
See you next time.
Thank you for joining us in the Gawdess Lounge. We're going to drop a picture of this podcast on our social media, so be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, the Hair Gawds. And if you're a woman, you can join our group, the Gawdess Lounge. Leave your comments and your feedback so that next week we can include you guys in our segment and let us know how we're doing.
It's a rare condition this day and age to read reading the good news on the newspaper page, and love and tradition of the grand design. Some people say it's even harder to find. Well, then there must be some magic clue inside these gentle walls, 'cause all I see is a tower of dreams, real love bursting out of every scene. We're gonna fill our house with happiness, but we'll smother the blues with tenderness.